is next up. Flat out having an MVP caliber campaign, accounting for 32 total touchdowns. That's tied for second in the NFL. He's completing 74% of his passes from inside the pocket. That's best in the NFL. But that doesn't mean that the Cowboys' Micah Parsons is impressed. Listen to this.
Is it Hurts or the team? I think it's a little bit of both, man. I think it's system and team. I think it's a little bit of both, man. I'm not trying to make no enemies. I just love the game so much, and I understand it so much that I can't. I when things are off, I just can't hold it in. I almost gotta say something.
May I just say, God bless Micah Parsons. He's not only the most...
This is how you know, Micah, this is how you know you messed up, brother. Because when a TV host is like, thank goodness for you, you know you're just giving everybody material to talk about. That's how you messed up.
Well, so I mean, it is a fascinating question. That's Micah Parsons saying, look, I just love the game so much. I can't let all of you talk about how good Jalen Hurts is because it's obviously just the system. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a good pass rusher, so I don't try to rush the passer. He should not make hot takes. So it's not right. I'm also watching football, and I'm not going to argue that I know the game better than Micah Parsons, but I do understand that when we come into a season and say this team is a quarterback away, and then that quarterback shows up to be one of the best running quarterbacks in the league, and also one of the best passing quarterbacks in the league, he does it from the pocket, he does it rolling out, he does it deep, he does it short, and they only lose one game. In the game they lost, he balled in that one too. It's hard for me to say that he's not an MVP type of player or say it's the team and not him. Right. Yes, when you win the MVP trophy, yes, the team is going to be good also. I haven't seen it happen any other time where there's been a bad team with a guy who won the MVP. Saying that he's not the straw in this situation to me feels unfair.
No one's saying he isn't having a very good season. I don't think that Micah Parsons is saying that. What he might be saying is that team is so loaded and so well coached offensively that you could put an above-average quarterback into that spot, the wins above replacement, whatever that statistic is, and that quarterback is going to look really good. I feel like that. I'm not suggesting it's right. I'm suggesting I think that's what he's saying. Is it right?
No, it's not right. It's shade. And I don't understand why Micah Parsons is doing it because all it will provide is bulletin board material for their game on Christmas Eve. Now, him doing this is either really, really smart or really, really dumb because he could be trying to establish a mentality for his defense so his unit plays a little bit better than they did when they matched up earlier in the season in Philly. You know, the game where the Philadelphia Eagles ran the ball 39 times and held the ball for over 34 minutes. I understand what Micah might be trying to do in terms of making sure that his guys don't put Jalen Hurts and the Eagles on a pedestal. But, gee, you know how this is going to get spun if they lose that game.
Yeah, no.
And I respect him for putting his neck out there like that. And maybe this is a strategy, and maybe a good strategy. Everyone's been being nice to Jalen Hurts all season, and he's been balling. So maybe if you throw some shade at him, he'll press and stink it up.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And you know what? I'm going to just say this now. I'm sick of the Jalen Hurts slander. I am sick of it. Because here's the thing. When you look at Josh Allen's numbers before Stephon Diggs, they were not as good as they are now. But does Josh Allen not deserve all the flowers and all the credit that he's getting? Of course he does. You are still the quarterback. I've watched very good teams again, I spent a lot of time in Cleveland. I've seen teams that are loaded on defense. They have weapons, and you think, okay, well, the quarterback just has to just be marginal. And it still doesn't work. Jalen Hurts is the one out here. And for him to be a guy who we had questions about whether he could just be the starting quarterback in Philly, not only has he proven that to be the case, he's proven guess what? I'm pretty damn good. Guess what? Oh, I'm actually an MVP candidate. Oh, guess what? Our team is actually good enough to be in the Super Bowl. All those questions, he has answered everything and answered every critic. And yet for Micah Parsons to be out here, there's no need for the bulletin board material because especially if Jalen Hurts isn't that good, y'all lost to them. That's the reality. He could have said all that in the locker room. He didn't have to go on a podcast knowing that the Eagles were going to hear this. What?
Yeah, he did. Don't discourage my man from talking. You know what, Mike? I got to be honest. I think Micah Parsons is wrong, but I love when they talk that talk. Talk that talk if you want to, Micah.
That's the other thing. I've been covering the sport a really long time. I've yet to find a defensive player who was afraid to say anything, right?
That's true.
Well, what's he afraid of? What's going to happen? I mean, if it gets spun bad, it gets spun bad.
I don't believe in bulletin board material. The Eagles aren't going to try try harder now because Micah Parsons said
No,
that.
come on, dog. You're not keeping it a buck, though, man. We all listen. Every player wants to win, and most players that are good are motivated by internal motivation more than external motivation. But make no mistake about it, every player in the NFL wants their respect.
Yeah.
And what Micah Parsons should do is go back and take a look at that Giants film from Sunday in MetLife. 4th and 7.
Yeah.
In the first half of that game, 7-point lead by the Eagles, they decided to go for it on a plus 41. And gee, it wasn't like they were throwing sticks routes or a hitch.
Right.
They threw a doggone go ball into double coverage. That just shows you the level that this team is executing at, but more so the confidence that the Eagles had.
I understand that. And no one is trying to downplay, well, maybe we are, a little bit what the Eagles have accomplished this year.
Sure.
But the only thing I'll say is, as I look over the schedule they've played so far this season, my general feeling is it looks a lot like Michigan's preseason schedule.
Wow,
Before Michigan went in the conference.
Wow.
They haven't played. That's not their fault. They don't schedule the teams they play. What I'm saying is when they go to Dallas a week from Saturday night, it'll be the most interesting game of the NFL season to this point. And what if Micah Parsons, like last time they played each other, Cooper Kupp was the quarterback, and I meant that on purpose. It wasn't even Cooper Rush anymore. Cooper Rush had his moment, and then he became Cooper Kupp, and that's when Dak had to come back. What if they are ready for this thing when the Cowboys come, they go to Dallas on a week from Saturday? What will we be saying then if Dallas wins that game?
Well, if Dallas wins that game, we're having the conversation if Dallas is the best team in the national
That's
football.
correct. And I think that's what Micah Parsons is thinking. And I think if I were him, I'd be thinking the same thing. When those two teams play on the field that night, who's the best player on the field?
Micah
Parsons. And I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to play each other in 2 weeks. I'm the best player.
No, at a certain point in the season when Cooper Rush was playing quarterback, I was arguing Micah Parsons for MVP. But Micah Parsons has not had the impact that Jalen Hurts has had through the course of the season. Jalen Hurts has run for 59 first downs. 59 first downs running, and also has one of the best QBRs and one of the best passer ratings from the pocket of any quarterback in this league. So he's doing it.
The best.
Excuse me.
The best.
The best. I messed up. I forgot my man Numbers was over here. He was going to get
best.
I appreciate it.
He's running it right now like a step below Lamar Jackson. He's throwing it a step below Drew Brees, as Dan was saying the other day.
Yeah.
No one is debating that Jalen Hurts is the MVP of the league right now. But it is going to the conversation.
No, I think Micah Parsons is literally disputing that.
Yes,
because
that's
if
exactly
he is
what's
saying that Jalen Hurts is not the reason, it is a collective effort.
It's a system.
Right. If he's saying he's basically a system guy, like obviously throw anybody, throw Cooper Rush in there, like they be balling too.
I get it.
Then he's saying he's not an MVP caliber player, which is not true.
But I'm just checking the list right now. He doesn't have a vote. So he doesn't. I checked the voting list, and he's not on the list of voters. I like it. Micah, don't stop talking.
Don't stop.
As we continue, Tua Tagovailoa is our next stop. He has not been a great cold weather quarterback. He's going to Buffalo Saturday night in December. It's going to be cold. How much trouble is the Dolphins quarterback going to be in? We will dive deeply into that, and we'll bring a coach. Plus, Dak has a pick problem right now. How much of that is his fault? Can he fix it fast?